Welcome back to Out of Controllers. We're in the middle of a cutscene. I'm upset that we're probably going to keep Liud and we're excusing him. Let's go.
Yep, as soon as it was in possession.
Of course they did.
Majesty, if this isn't asking too much, could you perhaps tell us in more detail about the legend surrounding the shrine and the stolen relic?
Thank you.
Please, tell us more folklore,
Yeah,
but also
tell us,
we need this.
Tell us world building and tell us why they probably want it. These are the fucking questions I would be asking, so thank you, Shella.
Yeah. It does seem like an odd question, though, in the circumstances.
No, not to me, because there's clearly something going on.
True. Yeah.
There were only 4 bloop-de-bloops that fall in the water and then...
No, there was one the first time we released.
Okay, gotcha.
A Magnus. There was you also were like, is it like, what the hell's your voice? And I was like, yeah, I know, I understand.
All right.
Of Mercutio. But yeah, the powers of Mercutio, God of Death, Destruction, are said to be sealed.
Yep, we heard. Okay, he pronounces the C in Malpercio interestingly. Like, everyone else says Malpercio, and he says Malpercio.
Yep. Yeah. Also, it's interesting, like, I just thought about this also, is that, like, regional accents, maybe?
Maybe.
That'd be so cool.
That would be interesting. Also,
alternatively, really inconsistent voice acting instructions.
I mean, it could be any number of things, but that would make us the evil wizards. Like, if we're drawing, I know that we're trying to stop the Empire or whatever the fuck it's called to, or the Imperials or whatever they are in this world, from getting the Magnuses, but we're getting them. We're the ones fighting the Guardians, which is what the evil wizards were doing. And I know it might not be a direct parallel, but I find it interesting that we're doing what the evil wizards were doing.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, and it's sort of... Yeah, I saw it as this was a thing, this was the situation a long, long time ago. Mm-hmm. But it's like, now we need to get them because other people are after them. Right,
and it's like, it's just, I'm always really into plots where it's like, you are doing a bad thing, but you have been led to believe that is the only course of action for you to take to save your world.
Right.
And I am kind of into that. I am into forcing people to come to terms with the fact that they have done terrible things unintentionally, because that is very much a thing that people do. And, like, they are not often forced to come to terms with that. Like, as someone who is white, like, having to come to terms with the fact that I benefit from these awful systems of oppression is a daunting task, but it's something that, like, needs to happen. And, like, the emotional struggle that goes into it for other people is fascinating to me, particularly as someone who has had to go through that on, like, not quite this scale, but, like, I've had to kind of grapple with that myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Magnus are indestructible. We didn't think burying them deep underground would be useful enough, so we also sealed them tightly with powerful magic.
Not deep enough, apparently.
Pretty much.
What gave it away?
Like, part of me hates how much they reiterate this kind of stuff, but it's also usually, like, the new character.
Yeah.
Who's being like, oh, that's what you're all talking about.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and that it reminds you, but also in a story way, it's like, oh, I've never heard this info before.
And that's really nice, because I was just playing Ghost Trick with a friend recently, and that is a game that reiterates a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's really annoying how much it reiterates. But, like, I also understand why it's necessary, because you're getting a lot of information at once, and so reiterating is good to remember what's going on. But I love that you pointed out that it's the new character who is bringing this up, who had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And that's another reason I love this game, because it does things. It's little touches like that, little levels of consistency, of knowledge.
Yep.
And it's really good about that.
Yeah, it's like, who knows about Shello's pendant? Callus does, because he saw it the first time, and like...
That's why they were the only two having that conversation, because they were the only ones with the context for that conversation.
Yeah, also, still then also clarifies to the player, how in canon does she still have the pendant if she was kidnapped?
Yeah.
And so it's like, nice.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good.
Ugh, this is a good game.
Mm-hmm. It's a good game. And if you go back to episode 1, you can hear how much Maggie hated it. A minority of them. Let's keep that in mind, folks.
It's true.
Props for us.
Yeah. It's true, he probably will.
Probs.
Right.
Yet.
Yeah, because they don't have powerful Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's most of the problem, is that you end up fighting 4 other nations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's so delightfully feminine from behind.
Yeah.
And even a little bit from in front.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way his clothes fall, it makes him look like he's got an hourglass shape, and I am for it.
Yeah, it's very much so what his clothes they can look like. That's true.
His voice acting.
His ambition.
Tin-foiled.
God. Like, he uses a bunch of language and I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
But also he's a king, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, his odd accent, like, strikes me as different because he is the only noble person in this room.
Yeah.
Anuenue? That is a name. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I hear it more commonly pronounced like Anue.
Anuenue is really pretty, though.
Oh, yeah, it is. But yeah, the third end is like sealed there.
But His Majesty needs time to recover.
You know, you were shot 5 times.
Very subtle. I like it. It's true, they do. Your people need you more than the other places do.
Also, just Gabari being the one to
Yeah.
tell him that, because we're gonna get to it in game 2. Yeah.
Yeah, he brings up a great point.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. I love this.
Yep.
Like, and this is the other thing. So many games are like, the reasons we do the shit that we're doing in the game are so contrived to me. I'm like, this is not the most logical thing to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, they're like, no, you're the king. Your country needs you right now. You need to stay where you are.
Yeah.
I love that.
And also still, like, he's like, it's my duty to my people to protect them, to go do this thing myself because it's my duty.
Yeah.
And so it's just like
that's a legit reason for wanting to go, and then everyone's reasons for wanting him to stay are also super legit. And like, this makes so much more sense than so many games. It's so much better thought out.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I love Legend of Zelda games. They make no goddamn sense.
That's pretty much true.
The plot is paper thin.
You know, actually, I think a lot of I classify this in our tags as JRPG because I'm like, no Westerner thought of this plot.
Yeah, no.
But like a lot of those have worlds that are super constructed, and they just throw you the fuck into it. They're like, here's the door, you're going through, and I just make a chucking motion, and you are thrown into like a time of upheaval in that world that you're not even sure of yet. And so it gives opportunity to establish world stuff and also employs like what their standard of practice is.
Yeah.
Which is like, and why that's usually like, the adventurer has to be like, no, you can't do that because that's not safe. That's not how the world really operates from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh my God. I'm sorry. We have so many strong feelings.
We
about
do.
this
We
game.
have a lot of feelings. We should
spent this whole episode.
We can't even get through a goddamn cutscene. We have so many feelings.
Can't. It's just so good. We should do podcasts.
Play the game.
I'm sorry. I also have a thing, audience, where I want to make 20,000 podcasts.
Play the game.
I'm playing it. Yeah.
Ooh.
Rainbow Nation.
Gay as fuck.
Gayland.
Yes! They even have a queen.
Oh.
Give it to me.
Oh, yeah. She's pretty rad.
Like, regardless of the connotation of queen, I am for it.
Mm-hmm. Also, he gives us his damn ship.
I mean, this is really important to him, and he can't go himself, so of course he's gonna send us as official royal, like, emissaries.
Yeah, no, but also, now we can travel the other islands whenever we want.
Oh, that's true!
We don't need to wait for liners.
We now have our own ship. That is brilliant. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Of
course.
He looks pointedly at us.
Jabari cracks his knuckles.
All right, next time on Out of Controllers, we will watch Callus
Be strong-armed into adventure.
Yeah, I love it so much. I love this. Thanks for watching, you guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.